So we've done all these steps and we've almost forgotten what our purpose is, what the final goal of everything is. And of course, one of the things that we want to do is to compare the number of the spotted neurons to the area size. You can also do that, like you can use StarDish to get the number, for example, of objects stained with nu-n or another general neuronal marker. But in my case, I am just finding a ratio between CFS positive or TD tomato positive cells and the overall area size of the current region. Some people say that fun starts after 21, so we're in step 22, and that's where fun starts, at least for us. So what we're gonna do is that we need 3 folders on our desktop or in our directory, that's your workspace. One will have the, remember that we took the area size 2 back in step 13, if I'm not mistaken, the option 2. That's what 2 means. And we said that this is the optimal measurement that we can get for an estimation of our areas or of our region's area, let's say, volume in pixels or whatever. So I've pasted it on my desktop. I also have the final measurements that we've just obtained. And what I also have is another folder that's called very last rows. And the very last rows should have, of course, the predictions that we've got. Remember, the CFOS final measurements is just the measurements of these predictions, but here we need the rows themselves. So I'm in retain BLA CFOS, Control A, copy, and I'm pasting it here. I will just tell you in advance that again I have to rename these files because I want to include the TIFF. This is also in the instructions. It's telling you how it should look like. So if it doesn't look like as you want it to be, it depends on some steps in the pipeline that you've taken in the past. So here I've accessed already the very last rows from PowerShell and going to run this command that will convert the name from .zip to .tifzip. So I press enter and voila, voila. And now what I'm gonna do is to get just the folders because I shouldn't have the zip files in here. All right, this seems ready to be used. So as you can see, I have matching names, and the only thing that differs is the extension, of course, for the CSV files. And yeah, everything looks good. So now I'm going to my macros and I go to the neurons per area. And it's about time that we start getting, at last, some data. So I'm going to run this file. First of all, I locate the main row folder. And this folder is the very last rows. And now what it asks me is the main CSV folder with the background measurements. Now, if you uncomment this part in the future because you also want to get more information about the intensity, let's say, of the neurons, then you can do that by removing the hash, I think, symbol, if I'm saying it correctly. And then you should also have the BLA CFOS final measurements included. But in principle, what we're doing here now is that we're taking these two and the program will not ask for the third one. All right, so main CSV folder with background measurements. As we said, this is the area size 2. Select folder. That's it. Good, we have it. So now let's see if the script is already run. So if I go to, I should tell you, because I was quite lazy when I was making it, that should change in the past. You should know how to search for the file that's created because you haven't selected a directory. So the name of the file is this one. What you can do is in your search type start dist final. How was it called? Start dist final. Right, that's interesting. It should be there. All right. Um, so you can see the time that it was created, and indeed it was created 1 minute ago. I will open the file location. Well, it's saved in my users folder. Well, yeah, that that should change in the future, but for now you can use it as it is. And when you open this, you have what you want, the number of your spotted cells, regions of interest, whatever, and the total area of the respective image. And you can run some measurements if you want to verify that it's working properly. Well, first of all, let's pick just one file, okay? And I will just keep the name of it because I can forget quite easily. So that's our file, okay? And now we want to see if indeed for this file we have 37 neurons and if the area corresponds roughly to this one. Okay, let's start with the first one. Let's see at the very last row is if I go to 42, 59, 44. All right, let's see where we have it. All right, and this is 20x03a. Should be this one. So 37, it says 37 it is. So that's fine. And some validations for the area. It's recommended. I mean, this script has been used, but the dataset might differ. So it's always good to make sure that you're counting what you want to count. So I'm going to for that I can use white background images because it's a bit easier to spot where the images start, where the area starts and stops. So I will go to the visually optimal, or I can do just white background images. And we said 42, 59, 20x03a. 42, I think it's this one. Let's just make sure. Yes, it seems so. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is to, well, you can do freehand or you can do polygon selection. I think the freehand will be a bit easier. I'm working from a laptop today, so it's not very convenient, I have to say, but I'll try to do my best. Whoops, okay. Let's try again. I don't think I'm that bad. Certainly I'm not good for a surgeon, but roughly. All right, so we have selected our region, and let's add it to the ROI manager, I think with Control and T. Now, if we measure this, we get an area of 589. Well, the area we get here is 592, so it's pretty close. Let me just make sure that the number of digits is the same. Yes, it is. So yeah, that's the way you can, of course, run some measurements if you want to be completely confident about the way the script has worked so far. And that was it. Congratulations. Now you should have your final ratios. And, well, fun starts at 22, but it gets crazy at 23, where we're going to look at colocalization. So I won't show you, but I'm also going to take the data for the BLA because this is my data for CFOS, and I have another data file for BLA. I will collect them both, and then I will see how well they colocalize.